Welcome to Patrick's Scale Studio. My name is Patrick. I'll be your host. So last we left off, we got decals put onto this forward superstructure section here. I think that was build video number 14, so this would be build video number 15. I know what you're thinking. Part of the steps that I needed to take was attaching this down to the deck and the hull, and it looks like it's already been done, but it has not. So, in order to do that, I've already test fitted this on there once, and it's nerve-wracking. I've actually already lost a life raft canister that fell off because of the sudden jar and the snap into place. It fell off over here on the starboard side, right back there. So, not a big deal because that's easy enough to put back on, and I've already got the piece that fell off, the actual piece that fell off, versus having to replace it completely. So it's painted, it's ready to go, it just needs to be glued back into place. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over getting the inside of this sanded down where there will be plastic cement applied, and then we will also into here around this area where there will also be plastic cement applied, so we make sure that we've got a good plastic to plastic bond without having to go through a couple layers of paint and primer. So in order to do that, I'm going to use a curved blade on a X-Acto knife, and I'd recommend getting a newer blade. It doesn't have to be brand spanking new. I usually, after I'm done cutting really delicate things, I set aside a blade or two for something like this, just before they get too trashed. And then I can just use this to go in here and scrape away at the paint where there's going to be plastic cement applied. And again, that's just getting rid of the paint and getting rid of the primer, so we have a plastic to plastic joint. So this is going to take a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn the microphone off, put a little background music in. Okay, so we managed to get this raised mating edge right here, here, and here, unfettered with layers of paint and primer, just with this right here. The rest of it I'm going to kind of leave as is. One, it's not having too much of a detrimental effect on the fit of the superstructure. And then two, I can also take off a little bit of plastic on that so I can ensure that there's not going to be any fit issues. But three, I'm also not really too concerned about putting glue right there, cement right there, or there. I'm really concerned about the cement here on these longer edges and right here. And since I already put a little bit of plastic shim on the front of the superstructure, I'm already positive that there's not going to be any kind of a gap issue up front. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to taking care of getting rid of the paint on the inside of our superstructure piece. And I'm going to do that with some rough sanding sticks. What I want is heavier sanding, or a much lower grit number on there, just so I can make sure that I get the plastic on this roughed up, so when the cement is applied, it's got just kind of a lot of little valleys that have kind of been troughed out by these sanding sticks in order to it's just going to increase the surface area overall and provide a lot more plastic to melt together and kind of weld together with what we've got on the deck and the hull. So with that, again, I'm going to go ahead and go back into silent mode with a little bit of music in the background here and get to work on those. Okay, so I've got all my mating surfaces cleaned and free of paint and primer. And actually, the last time I tried fitting this down, it went down a lot smoother rather than that jolting snap that completely unnerves me, which is a good thing. So, in order to complete this operation here, one, I'm going to get this in place after we put some glue on there. Then, we're going to make sure it is down the way it's supposed to be. Then, I'm going to take another foam block and we're going to slide it under there. Because eventually I'm going to clamp this down, and I would like to be sure that the pressure I use with these quick clamps to hold this in place is not going to cause any bowing or bending on the hull or the deck or any parts. So with that in mind, we will go ahead and commence doing this live. I know what you're thinking. This stuff never works out quite right, but that's why we're all joining me. Check it out. Let's see if we get an epic fail. Not hoping for one, of course. Here, I'll make sure everyone can see. Okay. Now, why am I doing it on the part versus on the ship? Well, that is because as I put the part down, the glue or the cement is going to get squished up. If I put it on the ship, when I lower the piece down, the cement would get squished and ooze out. So I wanted to squish and ooze up back into the piece a little bit more. Hopefully that was a valid enough explanation for everybody. And just so we're all 100% clear, I am a realist and understand that there'll probably be a little bit of glue mess up anyway. Or, sorry, again, cement mess up. Such is life. So, with that, okay, not down yet. Now, just for a second, I thought I was going to luck out and I was just going to slide into place, but we're not that lucky. However, it is going down pretty well. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, the superstructure piece is now glued into place. So, next steps here is to, again, get this clamped into place and allow this to cure for 24 hours. After it cures for 24 hours, then we'll go about rectifying that seam, which is not that bad as far as seams go. Alright, good. Let me go ahead and turn off the camera here and get these clamps into place and show you the finished product for where we'll be at with build video 15. Okay, so I had and gotten these quick grips in place. They were holding it down. It actually lessened the seam even a bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside. We can go on and talk about next steps here. So one, I've got to put this back on. That'll take all of about 20 seconds and just the tiniest dab of super glue. So then 2, I've got to tape off the sections where that superstructure piece meets the hole on the sides there where those seams are. So I got to tape off the ends there, and then we got to go in and use a little bit of putty. I think I'm going to be trying out Vallejo's plastic putty. For what I've heard, cleanup on this is excellent in that you can just use a little bit of water on a Q-tip. So after I apply this with its got a precision applicator tip, after I apply this, I can go back in with a Q-tip, clean it up. Then I can go in there and clean up that with some sanding sticks. And then we'll go back in and reprime that area, dark base it with dark gray, and then put on the XF12 for the final color, and then clear coat that to kind of seal all that in. And that should do it. What we're looking for is, I wish I'd say seamless, but because there's an actual corner there where two different planes are meeting, it I guess technically is a seam, but you know, we don't want a gap there. So that's what I'm looking for. That should be what is entailed in the next build video. And then after that, then we're going to work on this. Get this knocked out pretty quick. Get that attached. Get everything a little bit dirtied up, like the ship has actually been to sea. And attach some final detail pieces, railings, and get it moved over to its final display base. So I know this was a short one, folks, but a lot of prep went into getting this far, and it, you know, that was quite the bravery test actually to get that glued and put into place. So if you've got any comments, questions, or concerns, suggestions, or even you know, some ideas on how you would go about it, please provide that feedback in the comment section below. As always, I thank you very much for your time. Stay safe and happy modeling.